Good morning, I'm Clinton Griffiths. The beef industry continuing to be the focus on Capitol Hill this week, with lawmakers inviting ranchers and the leaders of the Big Four meat packers to testify before the House Ag Committee. Democratic Chairman David Scott of Georgia saying he hoped the hearing would be a catalyst for turning things around for cattle producers, while Ranking Member Republican G.T. Thompson of Pennsylvania said that absent findings of wrongdoings, it was time to stop demonizing the packers out of political convenience. First, lawmakers heard from producers, including the president of the National Cattlemen's Beef Association.
Now imagine waking up every single day and knowing that the cattle that you've birthed, fed, and raised are not going to make you any money because there isn't enough room in the rig system for the small cattle farmer to make a buck. The share of the retail dollar, the complete disconnect from the farmer to the grocer, is what's bankrupting the farmers and ranchers.
In 1975, the year I started ranching, the farm-to-retail spread for beef stood at 71.3%. We ranchers and feeders were able to retain 71.3 cents of every dollar spent by the consumer at the grocery store. In 2021, the farm-to-retail spread was 36.5%. Over the course of my career in ranching, my income has been cut in half.
Make no mistake, curbing rampant inflation and skyrocketing input costs, addressing urgent labor shortages, and increasing market transparencies are the true immediate needs of producers.
Then it was the meat packers' turn, with representatives trying to get the company leaders to explain what's going on with prices, packer margins, and issues in the industry.
We acknowledge that the rising price of many goods, including food, poses significant challenges for consumers worldwide. The price for meat is not immune to the global factors that are causing inflation. Supply and demand, labor constraints, transportation challenges, and rising feed costs add even greater pressure, and it all leads to increased prices at retail.
For our part, JBS purchases from cattle feeders and producers of all sizes in cash markets, auction barns, video auctions, and under AMAs. We are active in the cash market every day, and we will compete for quality cattle in the market wherever and however producers wish to sell them.
We had that anomaly during COVID that drove this, but the biggest factor we have today is oversupply of cattle relative to industry capacity. But that's changing, and we're already seeing it change. As we look forward from here, we're going to see cattle prices go up, and we're going to see the beef profit for packers go down. The profit's going to shift back to the cattle production segments.
And Mr. King, you have mentioned the constrained labor pool at the height of the pandemic. To what degree have those shortages been resolved?
Congresswoman, we are largely staffed at this point. We still deal with a great deal of absenteeism.
But during the pandemic, Mr. King, can you explain the labor pool situation at the height of the pandemic?
Absolutely. We were constrained. For example, we would be operating, if the plant was operating at all, we'd be operating 30-40% in the earliest of days. Just a year ago, we were no better than 75 or 80% of capacity.
This hearing follows another earlier this week about the beef industry before the Senate Ag Committee, where lawmakers debated the Cattle Price Discovery and Transparency Act of 2022. NCBA saying that a government mandate on cattle sales included in this plan is not the solution the industry is looking for.